I'm Natalie Leonard with the Architecture Lobby. Thank you all for coming today, and we're excited to hear from you and what you've been up to. And maybe we can first go around and do some introductions to yourselves and to the project that you all have been working on.
Okay, maybe I can start. My name is Alicja Jarochowska, and I'm a student of the fifth year of master's degree in architecture in Warsaw, Warsaw University of Technology. I also work in architecture, and I am a member of the student association of our faculty. And we started our project Zawód about 2 years ago, and this is a project that is focused on the mental health in the academic community.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and the others on the call, perhaps I'd like to hear from you.
Hi, I'm Wiktoria Kolaszyńska. I'm working on my dissertation, my master's dissertation, at the same faculty of Warsaw University of Technology. And as Alicja, I'm a board member of of our academic association, and I'm also a co-creator of Zawód project.
Hi, my name is Mateusz Potempski, and I'm one of the co-founders of Academic Association of Warsaw University of Technology, of Faculty of Architecture. I, together with Alice and with Victoria, started the project, Zawód project about mental health, as Victoria mentioned. And I, at the same moment, work designing, working as an architect, and on daily basis as a member, as a worker of our association.
Mhm. And I hear you all describing mental health as the primary focus. So what was it? What were the conditions that led you to start what you're doing? What was happening there related to the mental health situation?
So we've been noticing that there is a problem within not only the members of our organization, but also like in the whole university, that people are constantly overworked and stressed and tired, and we wanted to address this problem, but whenever we tried to do that, we always either ended up just complaining and just nothing really happened, or we faced that someone was saying that it's not true or it's always been like that and we are exaggerating, etc. So we decided to actually make a research, a survey, to like check this situation in a professional way and do a report on mental health in the architecture education in Poland, not only on our university, but also in different cities. And it turns out that our kind of worries and what we thought the problem was actually right, because the results of our survey were at least alarming.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about if you want to talk about it. I'd love to hear from one of you about what did you see when you did that survey?
If you don't mind, Alice, I might answer.
Mhm.
Essentially, the results were very, very worrying for both teachers and students, although it was slightly better for the teachers. We saw very serious depression symptoms, stress symptoms, anxiety. Most students weren't able to rest or felt guilty if they were doing it. It was like over 70%. Many realized that their mental health was getting worse after studying in a university for a longer time. Uh, and realized that also there's a lot of dropouts, and many people don't work in architecture if they do finish their degree. So it was very alarming that we see both those alarming depression symptoms, bad emotions, but also there was very little happy emotions and happiness in creating the architecture. So that was essentially what our results were. Very, very alarming and significantly worse than for the general population, which is what was the main cause for our research. So let's say it's bad for everyone. So what's your problem? But it's not that bad for everyone, as it turns out.
Right. It's specific to maybe our profession and degree programs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not surprised, but it's interesting to hear for sure. What so I don't know when you concluded that or when you finished analyzing that, but what has happened since, or has anything changed, since you all did that study?
We organized survey and focus groups in 2023. So it started in September 2023. The survey was like nationwide, so it was not only in our faculty. And although it was like volunteer, it was not like based on a specific group professionally chosen, but we had like massive answers. So, for example, from our university from Warsaw, more than 50% of students and more than 50% of teachers answered the survey. That's why those results are trustworthy. And we published first results in early December, and then continued our work. Organized second survey in February at the end of the semester, and since then we are looking for results, because we see our project not only as like a research project, but we really would like to change something. When we started, we thought that, we are a very small organization for one of the cities. So the only thing that we can do is like check if all those talks, meetings, gossips, lobby-like speeches and talks are only like our style of doing our profession, or it's like a real problem. But now we think about our mission as a project for like taking care of mental health and well-being in our education in architecture. And we prepared and we asked people what should change. And this is like the base from where we start. But in our DNA is like participation and working together. We don't think we can find a solution by our own, even with our like friends and professionals from sociology and psychology who were invited to be team members. But since day one, we asked community while preparing the research, and now we are organizing workshops in different universities in Poland to do it participatory, to engage local communities in describing not only the problem but the answers. What could we do on different levels to make it better? So this is the thing that it's happening now. But for Poland generally, the most important effect of our survey is that like we started the discussion, because before it was like only a discussion between like friends during like meetings and informal situations, and since then we like we started the debate, and it's going on in architectural media, in social media, and on like high-level meetings. We just started to talk about it because those results are really very bad. And some of faculties started to implement some solutions that may at the beginning sound like very small ones, but they are like step in a good direction. We know the results of research, for example, from Great Britain. We met with a team from Australia too, and we read a lot of those researchers and were inspired by some solutions. And we hope that based on like participatory power, community power, and knowledge shared around the world, we can make the academia better for us, for our profession, and like for architecture too.
Yeah, and that kind of ties in. You mentioned these workshops that you're starting. One of my next questions is, what do you think of some of these traditional institutions and schools, architecture schools, and what do you think their role or their responsibility should be, or how are you working with them?
So I think it's really interesting that we are just starting to examine the mental health situation in our field, because we are like 3 students who started this project. Of course, we got like funding from the government from a grant, but in Great Britain, it's the RIDA that does those kind of research programs every couple years, and they check the mental health. They've been checking that for like a couple years, and here we just started. So like it would be amazing to also have data from like how the situation looks like in the profession actually and among architects, because we've just started, and we wanted to start in the education and see how it looks in the academic community. But of course, it would be very helpful to have that information about profession. But in Poland, we just don't have that yet. And we don't want it to be like our responsibility, because we just like started this topic, so now we have to like continue. We want this project that we started to be a collective thing. We wanted, and we always like from day one, we wanted this project to be not only ours, but also like a bigger thing that doesn't like divide us in the architecture, but it connects us. And we want it to be like something that we all can relate to and something that we all can care about. So we really hope that like more organizations like including the governmental organization, they jump on board with us and continue this mission that we have to improve mental health in our field.
Right. And what I think you're starting to speak to this too, but what do you see as your vision for the future, either within Poland and within academia or within the profession? And, kind of what advice do you have for people maybe who are also interested in this topic and this issue?
Answering this question, we must underline that we are sure that it's all interconnected. So there's not only a problem on academia, and it's not a problem with this generation of students that are now in universities. The problem is much bigger, and it's only like part of the issue. And like it's not hierarchical. You cannot pinpoint what started the problem. It's all interconnected. And from our perspective, the fighting the crisis of our profession, in which for sure we are here in Poland, and I think not only in Poland, like it's worldwide, has to this fast has to start in different fields, and we are concentrated in and we think about mental health because it's important for us, because it's important for the association that it would create. We are changing the main topic from architecture itself, because this is part of myth that is around our profession, which from our perspective is doing a lot of harm, because it allows us and allowed generations before us to not care about ourselves, but care only about the architecture. So basically we are we have two contradictions, ego in architecture and collectiveness in architecture, so the people. And our vision of the future is to have more about people in architecture, not about architecture itself, abstract abstract thing. And what we started was to organize a net organization around Poland, because our universities are not well interconnected. And we invited not only students and academia organizations, but professional organizations too. And now we have more than 35 of those on board, which work with us. And we even introduced our report to our national architecture organization, which is called Izba Architektury. So the organization which gives you the right to design in Poland. I don't know proper name. And we hope that in the future we can share our know-how and our knowledge to research and to survey professionals, because we know that the connection with academia is not only through the teachers who both work in architecture, own their studios, and then bring their standards into the academia, but from talks not only with architecture workers, but with company owners, we know that it's getting worse. We have a lot of dropouts, not only in studies, but in a profession itself. So people are leaving the profession because of mental health issues too, but the frustration,
just burnout.
Burnout, of course, low earnings, and the position of our profession in the system. Poland is a young democracy and young capitalism since 1989, and we are still in this stage in which the position is based on money, and money drives everything. And last 35 years is a decrease of our position as an architect, and it influence our mental health too. So we hope that focusing on people and on collective thinking can change the community, can change the profession, and can change the architecture for better.